Hey friends, Coast Chris here. Thanks for stopping by. So, continuing our series on packs and bags, I wanted to talk about my medium duty adventure bag. So we talked about my light duty one with the Fieldline Pro Series tracker bag. And this actually, before I got the tracker bag, was my everyday carry. I would take it to work, put my work supplies in here, and it was obnoxiously big. It wasn't professional. It was obviously something meant for the outdoors and not the indoor office area. With that said, I got this bag for an adventure I had up in Banff and Jasper, Yoho, a few years ago, I think back in 2018, and I really needed a medium, light to medium bag that I could really stuff with a lot of layers because we went over Labor Day, and so it was anybody's guess. The weather could be really hot or really cold, so we needed layers. I needed something that could expand to accept that kind of capacity. So what we're looking at today is Mountaintop, which is a brand I'm sure you haven't heard of, and it's their adventure pack. So their Mountaintop Adventure, and I know what you're thinking. I wouldn't buy something like that. That's super sketchy sounding, Mountaintop Adventure. But I love finding gems like this. It's because it's an off-brand. You're not going to hear about it anywhere else. And I have no idea where it's manufactured or made. But I do believe it's like a European company, Mountaintop. And it's just not popular. It's not like a Kelty, and it's not like a REI or Cabela's. And it really has a lot of great features that those overpriced bags could learn from. This was about 40 bucks, and I've gotten so much use out of it. You can get it in all sorts of different color configurations. It's 35 liters, and it says 35 liters plus 5 liters. Meaning that it can hold a 5-liter water bladder as well. There's a little hydro tab out of here that you can take the hose to your water bladder and pull it out of there so that it's all nice and compact. And that's one of the features I like about it, is that you can have a hydro water feature built in, integral into your bag experience. But what I really like, there's a lot of medium duty bags out there. There's endless amounts of medium duty bags. The first thing you want to look for, besides the hydro little tab here, that's a nice to have. But the first thing that you need is padding at least this length. So this is a padding that's going to go around your hips. And this is really the minimum you want. I was a little disappointed that it didn't have a full strap. A full strap would come right to the clips of your clip, and but I get it. It's a medium. It's not a heavy duty bag like my Kelty backpacking bag would be, and so this worked fine. I didn't want anything. A lot of them, they just like barely come up with some padding to there, and then you're mostly using the strap itself resting on your hip. It's incredibly uncomfortable. It's lazy cost-cutting on the manufacturer's end. So what I really liked is that it met my requirements for hip padding. So this really enhances the backpack because not only are you using the shoulder straps, which have a significant amount of padding in them, but you're putting a lot of the weight on your hips as well and taking it off your shoulders. So you can wear this all day. I've never seen a more useful hip pocket than this right here. It actually fit my iPhone 8. And look, I still have some chapstick in there too. But this pocket here, it fit it. It was snug, which I actually preferred because then it didn't jostle around so much. But what that allowed me to do is to get my phone out of my pocket where it was rubbing up against my hip and put it in a pouch right here. I would take that thing out all the time. I must have taken 100 pictures a day, and I would leave it unstrapped even. It fit there so nicely. So that's a great feature that I like about the Mountaintop Adventure, their medium-sized pack here. The next thing that I loved, that I was so surprised I got for my the value, is there's a little pouch down here, and it comes with a rain sleeve. So if you don't know, a lot of adventure packs will have the ability to have a rain sleeve fit over them. This one actually came with one, and it fits nice and snug, and it ensures that your backpack doesn't get wet. And so there's a little tab down here where you can insert the bottom of your rain sleeve, and it holds it in place. There's another one at the top, and yeah, it keeps your stuff dry, and it really works. So I love that this came with that. There's even like a little pouch down there at the bottom. I didn't know that when I bought it, so I was really pleasantly surprised. So well done, Mountaintop. Also, this padding here, you can even see it. It's like ½ an inch of padding, and it runs the full length of the backpack. A lot of times you'll see that it'll only be in sections where you rub the most, which again, just being lazy on the manufacturer's part, Mountaintop really didn't cut any corners. I can't recommend them enough. I'm gonna look up more about Mountaintop as a company after this video because I just really liked this product a lot. They have this airflow symbol here, and it really does work. It's kind of cheesy that they have to do this whole airflow logo, but air can come in and travel all the way down your back, and it really cools off your back. I hiked, probably dozens of miles with this in that one trip, and it didn't get sticky and sweaty and nasty, especially down here in your lower back. This airflow here is really nice. They could have even, kept it this wide all the way down, but just fantastic that they had this whole back covered with padding. So definitely plus for this backpack. It met my minimum requirement of padding, which a lot don't for the hip, and also good straps. They have some really utilitarian, not MOLLE straps, but straps up here that I attached some stuff, flashlight at one point when it got dark. It has a nice retention strap up here, which also helps just distribute the weight of the pack a lot more. And it also came with a little whistle that I thought was cute. So just well-designed retention system for this backpack. All right, the next thing on the outside that I want to take a look at is that it has two fairly sizable water bottle retaining straps. Use them for anything. I used one for water bottles, I think one for like snacks and bananas and apples and things that I could get to easily. They're at a place on the backpack that is nice and easy to get to. Sometimes they're packs, you'll see they're like too high to by your lats and your shoulder, and you can't really get at it too easily. These are very nice. You can even reach across and grab them. So very nice. I like those a lot. They're big enough for a Nalgene, which if you're not familiar, Nalgene is a pretty thick style of bottle. It's also a company. Great products, but they're big enough to fit those bottles, Nalgene bottles. So that's another plus. Well designed. There were some straps. There were some excess straps. Only thing that I could really complain about is that I didn't know what these straps were for. I want to find a use for them, but the use that I found was that I use them just to hold a carabiner, and you never know when you're gonna need a carabiner, so hey, I found a use for them. Another thing on the outside that I like, and I know I'm gushing about this a lot, but it really met my needs, is that these straps here, a lot of people don't utilize them. They're on a ton of different packs, and I see them just never used. So what I used it for was my outer layer that I might take on and off a lot. Some of those inner layers that I don't take on and off as much, if I were to take them off, I stuck them farther in the pack, like an inner vest or something. But what I use this for is my rain jacket. Because if it starts raining, I can quickly just grab this I don't have to fiddle around with anything, opening my bag, exposing it to the rain. So that was great to have some retention straps. There's 3 compartments. The outer one here, another thing I would recommend to Mountaintop is that their outer one is really deep, but their inner one has a section where it has a mesh option up here to have something not so deep and then something deep. The reason why I don't like this as much is because I'd rather have the mesh little part be up front. Because then I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the little one thinking I had little things there, and I don't end up using this little outer part as much as I could if it was the one that had a mesh component to it. But that said, with the mesh component being on the inner side, it does give you a larger mesh area. So here's where I would stick things that I may want immediately. Say a flashlight or a pocket knife or a little first aid kit, something like that. Extra batteries, extra phone charger, some like a rechargeable battery. That's the stuff I put here, and honestly, I just use this the most. And then beneath that is great for books or something that might get squished, that you may not want to get squished in the main compartment. The main compartment is vast. It's so big. It's got to be at least 20 liters, which is a backpack in itself. And that's exactly what I needed in a medium duty. So it's so deep down there, and it can really expand because of this material. So what this is great for is layers. So I've used this for about a week long. I stuck all my socks and underwear in here, and I was able to live out of this for about a week. Or I've been able to take it on hikes that it potentially could have been nasty out, or it was on the fence in Labor Day in September, or it could be hot or it could be cold. This is great for layers. Gives you a lot of versatility being a 35-liter bag. I also take it on airplanes. When I can only get one bag, this is the one I choose because it still fits within those containers of carry-on, but it just gives you so much versatility and depth. And I've been able to live for a week, going back home. This is the bag I take, and I went to the beach, and this is all I needed. I could fit it all in here. So I hope you found this useful. I highly recommend. I'll leave a link in the description, if I can find it, to Mountaintop, their adventure bag. I'll also find some other bags that meet my minimum requirements. They need at least one water bottle container. They need to have decent padding on the back. They don't need to have it full length, but that is my preference. But absolutely, when you're looking for a medium duty trail bag or adventure bag, you gotta have just some decent hip support. And this is really my minimum. Some of them go all the way, and that's fantastic. You won't regret having more hip support on your bag. So hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe, stay healthy, and Coasty Chris out.